I started my HR career quite a long time ago. I actually worked in a very corporate environment for about 15 years. So I was in HR and learning roles at a law firm for a really long time. After that, I had kind of decided I was never going to do HR again. And I and so went and worked in community services. So I had done a counselling degree when I was a lot younger and decided I wanted to go and put that into practice. So I went
Wow.
and became a counsellor. I worked in a drug and alcohol rehab and worked my way through and, became a leader within that organisation, and then went on to leadership roles in other community service organisations. And what I realized is that every one of those organizations had the same challenges. So they were
Mm.
fairly small, not for profits who really didn't have the resources to have in house HR support. So it often just ended up being me that would do it anyway.
Anyway,
So,
yeah.
so
Oh,
in trying
funny.
to kind of move away from that, I found that I couldn't quite escape it. So a couple of years ago, or about 4 years ago, I was doing a bit of a mix between working as a COO at a disability provider, disability services provider, and providing some consultancy and training and support to some other organisations.
Mm.
And a couple of years ago, decided that I'd turn my side hustle into my main gig, I suppose. So now I do this full time.
Wow, that's so awesome. Isn't it interesting how, sometimes we think the grass is greener or we think we're done with something and the path
Mm.
just leads us full circle.
It does. It keeps on pulling you back in. And I think the other part is I came from the way that HR was done when I first started in HR looks quite different, I think, to what people would think of being a HR now. So
Mm.
I loved the opportunity to actually be able to get to know the people and to work alongside them to truly help them succeed in their roles. And I
Mm.
think HR at some point became a bit of a tick and flick and a risk management function.
Yeah.
So I try really hard to really focus on how I learned to do HR. And that's, really relationship building and supporting people to grow and develop within an organization. So sometimes in doing that, you do actually tick those boxes quite easily anyway. But it's just kind of trying to flip it on its head a little bit and, make HR a little bit less scary because I know it can feel a little bit overwhelming for people.
Yeah, and how nice that you can take the best of each of the worlds that you've
Mm,
been in,
yeah.
and then align it to your values and create a business that is HR the
Mm,
way you think HR should be.
yeah. Yeah. Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And how did you find navigating moving from employee to business owner? I mean, theoretically you go, well, at least I've got all the HR skills. How did you go with all of the other things?
Yeah, look, I'm probably still fairly new in that journey, to be honest. And there are still times, where I go, the ups and downs of that is very different to just knowing that you've got, you show up at, 8:30 every morning, you work till 5, and there's something that feels very safe and secure about that, doesn't it?
Yes, sometimes I like, dream about what that was like.
Yeah, it's not that long ago for me, so I can kind of still remember what that was like. Having said that, like most business owners, I've got lots of things going on in my life. I'm a mum of teenage boys. I've, got, I love to go on adventures and travel. And I guess having the opportunity to have the flexibility to work around those other things is a real benefit, I think, in running your own business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think oftentimes, we go into our own businesses thinking freedom, flexibility, and then they
Mm,
swing towards no freedom, no flexibility. And then it's like we
yeah.
kind of have to pull ourselves back and remember
Yes.
why we're doing it in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.